Our top story, and this is via the Australian newspaper, is that the Pukpuk Treaty, as it's known, the defence treaty with PNG, has been reaffirmed by the Marape cabinet. Ben Packham joins me, his defence and foreign affairs correspondent at the Australian. So you and I were there a couple of weeks ago. It hit a stumbling block, but now your sources telling you the cabinet's approved it.
Yes, Kieran, the PNG cabinet approved that agreement yesterday, I'm told. I've got a high-level source that texted me this morning saying it was approved with an absolute majority.
So as we look back at it, we can consider at the time it was around their 50th independence. Is that maybe the explanation as to why there was the delay?
Yeah, so it hit a stumbling block in the middle of last month. As you say, we were over in PNG and we were all expecting the agreement to be signed the day after PNG's independence. That didn't happen because the Marape cabinet, it turned out, had not approved the deal as was planned. The explanation for that was that they couldn't get a quorum because a lot of the ministers were sort of back in their districts celebrating independence. So, they...
and they're quite remote districts we're talking about with not the greatest communication.
Yeah, exactly. And, they're not sort of set up to do kind of remote cabinet meetings or anything like that. So they all really had to be in Port Moresby to do it.
And your report today suggests that Prime Minister Marape will hold a formal announcement of this today?
I'm told he will announce it today, but, whatever their sort of formal public processes, I'm told it has been approved. So what that means is that that the next step is that it needs to be formally signed. Both governments had planned to do that at a ministerial forum in Australia on October 20. Now, that is the date that we now know that Anthony Albanese will be heading to Washington for his meeting with Donald Trump. So, that will have to be rescheduled.
Either before or
after. I mean, there's...
Mr Albanese would want to get it done ASAP.
I think he'd want to get that, signature, absolutely. Yeah. And then, so after that, it will have to be formally ratified by both nations' parliaments. But, once that is done, nothing's certain until that is achieved, but once that is done, it will elevate PNG to the status of a bona fide ally. So the same status as the US and New Zealand, and it will obligate both countries to come to the aid of the other.
So that's a huge development.
Absolutely.
And a big win for the government.
Huge win for Anthony Albanese and Richard Marles and Pat Conroy. It was looking shaky. We hadn't written it off, but certainly, it was quite embarrassing for the Prime Minister to come home without that agreement on his recent visit to PNG.
Prime Minister Marape, though, and this is something I picked up from talking to people, and obviously you were around there as well, the ministerial sources up there. Marape has a very clear majority and with his alliances in that parliament. So once you get the cabinet done, the parliament should be okay.
Yes, although PNG is known as the land of the unexpected, so you can never count on anything until it's actually finalised. But look, he's in a very strong position, and he's a sort of quite a strong figure in PNG politics. There's no sort of clear rival at the moment. So, I expect that he will get this done, although there is some domestic criticism in PNG over the fact that, it's suggested that this is a threat to PNG's sovereignty. Some have said that it could breach the constitution. Look, it's unclear whether that's the case. PNG's constitution can be changed by I think it's a 2/3 vote of Parliament, right. So that wouldn't be a completely...
It's not insurmountable.
No.
Okay, well, it's great to get that breaking news with you, Ben Packham. You're exclusive that the Pukpuk Defence Treaty has been approved by the Marape Cabinet, and Pukpuk means crocodile, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
That's the pidgin word for crocodile.